This early in the game is pretty big as we take a look back at this play.
And Sama bowling here, gets the strike. Oof, nowhere. I mean, VTO has about a second there to flash react to it. There's the analyst desk.
There's the analyst desk.
Looking intently.
Match doesn't have the wave clear. Now we see the 1v1 again.
Yeah, two top lane. Giga just going at it 1v1, extremely close. Odoami's going to go behind Broken Blade here and ult him into the tower to try to get extra damage onto him. Then he gets the bonus damage, loses a little bit of HP from the Sunder W. Then here comes the flash on the Q3, then the dash away from the stun not being tower range. Then the Q flash, he tried to pick up the kill, and he could chase here perhaps, but then here comes Yike and gets the kill. Broken Blade really
back, some plays across the map, brought it back a little bit, but G2 have just been taking over. This mid game has been phenomenal. Finding so many of these picks, Hansama just burning through Patrick's health bar as VTO is also running for his life from a Victor ultimate.
I just love how Hans just W's and then stands still knowing that he's going to die. Good guys don't look at explosions. So here's the bot dive, which Mickey just walked into. I think the only thing he can contribute here is a stun, and that's exactly what he does, but it's on the ult, which is unstoppable, so he basically can't do anything. The turrets are doing a little bit, but then he gets tower aggro and dies. Nice movement here from Broken Blade to dodge this Q, and then jump in to make sure it's a 1-for-1. For him at least. Who's scaling so strong and is playing so far up. Then you've got Hans to deal with. Hans falls, then you've got Yike to deal with, and then Broken Blade is fourth in line to actually be a target for Excel. So they use so many ults. There's the Syndra ult onto Hans, there's the Wukong ult onto the backline of G2. But once you think you've got the carries, here come Yike and Broken Blade. And despite being in kind of like a 2v3 scenario.
4 kills, he's popping off! He should still die here. Stun gonna go in. How did he do it?
The Nexus towers are playing against XL. It's a 6v5.
They went from close game to montage power hour here for the side of G2, but the new roster looking strong, looking fresh, looking clean, confident.
Face check from Larson here, thinking maybe he can help his bot jungle get some vision on Drake.
He's Robin Hood, he's having a great time. Little does he know, Sheriff Nottingham right on the opposite side of the wall, shooting him.
Taken out instantly. And let's look at it, because Marin goes to the steal, but no ultimates, so they can't really stop the 4v3. Maybe LeBron's just a bit too far forwards. Maybe he's the one thinking to land the stun onto the Ashe. He's like, guys, let's go onto this Ashe. Looks like a free kill. And the rest of them are kind of like, well, no, we're good. They back away. Saves the flash.
Why do we even do team?
Here's the replay. I think they were just surprised that Larson's on the flank. Nuke gets instantly rooted, and he's just such an easy target. Shio gets locked down. Look at his health bar just shredded by the time he even tries to look for an ult. The rest of BDS are too far back. Their fronted that back damage is not that high if the Azir is forced out. This siege, we'll see it again. Jhin ult comes in. He knows Larson's trying to run away, so I think he doesn't even know Trippy's there. He's just aiming at Larson. They don't actually have any vision on the Ashe. But when Shio goes over, he says, well, that's just a free kill. And then the airborne hits onto Larson as well. Very minute CC chain. But then the rest of BDS are here. Gets a little bit of a lockdown, and he can't get away. The blue orb does spot the Heimerdinger, so
oh no.
Koi did know that the play was happening. Oh, it doesn't check the bush, so close. So they send 4 up, thinking there's only 2. They don't know Shio's here, maybe they saw him as well, but 4v3, numbers advantage. But look how many Heimer turrets get placed down on top of the ult one. The Azir dodges out, despite getting hit by the Sedge. Despite getting hit by the Sejuani ult, dashes. Backs against the wall, turn onto the rise, and then once Shigenna here, he wants to commit, but look how many towers there are. How does he jump onto the Jhin? He's just gonna get melted straight through, and then Shio goes in, and they turn on to him.
Obviously, the rest of the fight plays out. You can see there's a lot of burst on the side of Koi. Really the thing that makes this work for BDS Ultimate Crowning, playing with a lot of confidence. Gale Force, step back, baiting. Hits the W because there's really, at the end of the day, was not the right call. Koi clearly prepared. BDS very much split. Massive damage from the Ezreal.
The Azir is just at the back of the pit. The only thing he can do here is just get out. Shio gets hit by so many spells, he has to flash out. Crowny can't do anything. I mean, he can pop the ult, but there's no real auto attacks to do. Good knock here on the Emperor's Divide. Big changes in comp, good reaction time to E backwards. It looks like there's a sign of life for BDS, but Crowny can't get himself in the fight. And
now rank ticking away. Arrow's going to connect. Adam forced to ult and run back to safety. Larson on the flank once more. You're now going to be in trouble forcing the flash out as well. BDS are losing so many tiny advantages, and here comes Renekton. 1 dash forward. Now going to go in with the Prowlers as well, and just instantly takes them down. Trippy following up, and there it is. The final fight for BDS, not the one that they wanted, but the one that they will get as Koi move in to break down the Nexus. Taking their time in the fountain, adding insult to injury, and Shio just doing what he can. Larson's a tanky boy, and he's a fast boy as well with this phase rush. They're not ending the game. It's like ARAM.
Damage farming.
They say we go again.
Stats. Be in a good spot, but we see it here, right? Evie ends up TPing out. Look at where Ruby's moved to. He's now in mid lane. He's zoned off from the rest of the team. And on this bottom side, you aren't really getting too much. Sure, you'll get the wave, but imagine you had this Cassante here for the start of this, and I mean, Jack Spectra not really able to do too much. He has to burn cleanse the backside. Finn is just keeping Mersa at bay, and I mean, Astralis just in a much better position to focus down everyone that's coming out at them from Heretics.
And that's just
right. They end up looking for the blue buff instead of just trying to set up in river. Ash Arrow does go up top side, so manages to connect. Must have missed this. Cobby gets the kill here, I'm assuming. Yeah, so easy pick onto Jack Spectra, so nice job.
Oh man, okay, so this play started off waiting in the bush, but it took such a long time to get Dale. I'm also looking at the minimap. It looks like Jack Spectra's still running to catch that mid wave, and Yanko's a little late.
Yeah, I mean, they spotted Cobby on the wave, which is why they thought they could do this, but didn't expect as many members of Astralis to be here. Even 113 causing bedlam in that back line as well, picking up these kills. Ruby can't follow up. Yankos is getting distracted with trying to pick up the kill on the other side of the fight, and then Cobby finally manages to show up and get this play back in favor of Astralis. Draw your attention though to Ruby's movement in this fight though, because we see nice engage coming through here. Doesn't quite stop the, or does actually get the grounded there to stop the TP coming out from Dayor. But watch as Cobby comes into this fight. He sets up for a really nice ultimate that would, in theory, clog up all these shallow pathways. But Ruby just getting the sidestep up towards the top side means he doesn't get hit by any of those arrows. That could have been a very different story here for Astralis, where they just about managed to get out, but means he's able to follow up. Great Sonya's. Yeah, I mean, this was a nice call from Astralis, but they needed to get the hell out. I mean, a realm warp here would have been perfect to get everyone out of this problem, but unfortunately not quite able to do so. So although Yankos does end up going down, watch Heretics play this. Immediately grouping, moving back in towards this small choke point, so Ruby's able to keep themselves with the miasma and buy time for Evie now to get into a position with the TP. Astralis then nowhere to go. Picks, and this is what I was talking about for Astralis. They're finding these very quick picks. The spot out with the arrow coming through from the Ash, immediate follow-up from 113. Finn's in a good position, and although you try and get the follow-up here, there's not really any way for Ruby to get into this fight. Jack Spectra is pulled off to the side, so he can't really go forward, and Evie ends up sending himself into no man's land, where the rest of Astralis can collapse off the meta as well. And you get to see it here where, yes, Dayor has one himself, he is a little bit tankier, but he's just completely caught out. Jack Spectra, great cleanse, great root coming in from the ultimate as well, and Dayor is just completely stuck here.
On the Cassiopeia, into the rise, Heretics managed to pick up the win in their debut game of the 2023 Winter Split. It's Evie, Jack Spectra, and Mersa taking down the Nexus differently than the rest of SK. The reason I draw attention is that this is a difficult situation to be in.
Yeah, and look, this is really good from Irrelevant, right? I actually think at this stage, SK, you just cut your losses. You're like, okay, cool, we don't need to go for this. But watch Oyoya immediately on towards Exakick in that back line. So Exakick isn't actually getting that AoE damage off of these fights. Sertus doesn't have the damage to really be a big threat towards people like Karzi and on towards Hilly, especially with the healing that's coming through. So, I mean, there's nothing that you can really get access to here, and that dive that we talked about for SK just hasn't come online yet. So Mad Lions chase down SK, and we'll be able to pick up a couple more kills on the backside of that.
Yeah, and I know that I think the majority of the credit that fight I feel should go to Elyoya.
But Karzi.
Karzi's a huge bounty.
Okay.
Karzi's a huge bounty. Karzi's a huge bounty, but Niski's going to be the focus. Casante's caught inside that gravity field. Karzi's going to escape with that flash. Niski gets dropped in place by the cease and desist, and Irrelevant stays alive. Another fantastic going golden for Niski. All out will push Elyoya away. 1-2 more kills. 4 Mad Lions. A third will fall in just a moment. Marcoon taken out as well as Doss. It is an ace for the Pride, and they're pushing into the base of SK.
I mean, fool me once, fool me twice. That is not going to work out for SK. Mad Lions with picking off all 5 members for a clean ace. We'll look to end this one out in style.
Fantastic performance from start to finish. Mad Lions on the hunt, and Mad Lions dominate SK Gaming. But this is the engage. I just don't think Perks anticipated Rux being there.
You can see that the ward was turned off, so
yes.
Perks should have been able to see it, but with no flash, can't escape. Bo in the correct spot here. But I also want to say how well Vitality end up playing this once it gets underneath the tower.
I think when you look at the minimap, the number of people for Vitality stepping forward, had it just been the 2-on-1, they could have turned around. But because Rux was there, Perks goes down first.
Yeah, but this is really well played from Vitality. Watch the stun here. Humanoid just pushes Photon outside of turret range. If that stun had been underneath,
but you have to acknowledge they're kind of 2v1s, 3v1s, and they're just trading focus. It's not a full-on, like, everybody chucked in, you know?
Yeah, and I think here, Kaiser should have flashed the initial knockup. That could have actually given a little bit more space here, wait for Photon to come in, but now Kaiser is out of the equation, and this body slam flash from Wunder, absolutely perfect. I think the only thing he's raging about is that he used that ultimate earlier on in that top side, so didn't have to follow up here. Photon will get a kill back, but ends up giving one over as well. So just got better positioning here. And Brooks, great engage here. Look at Bo, right? He flashes, he uses the ult to try and create that distance immediately, but you actually get Brooks holding on to that grand entrance, waiting until all that is burnt by Bo to pick him off. And Perks, unable to escape away, means that he's absolutely done.
It's 6 stacks on this Kindred for Azork, and this is how it all started off.
But look how shallow the vision is here. Like, Perks, you have no right to be up that far. It's very easy for Fnatic to sweep through that top side and pick him off. And Kaiser was trying to play bodyguard, but I mean, you're 2 members against the 5 of Fnatic. You don't stand a chance. Now Baron in the back pocket. The sideline opportunities for Photon are diminishing, and the team fight Fnatic is showing wonders here.
I mean, fantastic performance there, all on the same page.
That could have been a point of contact. Well, now they can play for that second, third dragon, but I mean, Reckless, that was gorgeous. Catching on to Kaiser there, buys a little bit more space, and then Neon decides to ult, and Humanoid punishes him for it immediately. Fnatic then managing to flash over the wall, they're regrouped. Vitality are still scrambling to get themselves in position, and it was so close to being such a nice play. Photon TPing past Vision to try and get in onto Fnatic, but unfortunately, just wasn't going to be the case. Fnatic were prepared for it.
As he needed.
And I want you to watch Bo in this fight. He plays this incredibly well. So Kaiser goes to set up for this play. Immediately as that TP comes in, Photon's trying to just back away with the rest of the team. So Bo moves up, gets 1 kill. Now Fnatic trying to jump onto Bo once more. He's trying to keep his distance, but moves back in with that help from Perks to actually pick up the kill. But watch here, dodges the Q, flashes into Humanoid with the Gore Drinker, gets the heal, gets the auto alongside Neon, and is then able to follow up once more. The backside of this fight for Vitality.
He jumps in behind, Wonder steps forward, the body slam finds no one. Chain of corruption slowly starting to spread. Wonder's being focused and forced down. It's a 5 versus 4. The solar flare is sidestepped, no CC lands. Reckless cut off from the rest of Fnatic. 30 seconds until the Elder Dragon. Photon finds the stun. Humanoid sidesteps, no flash available to him. Rux running for his life as the collateral damage chips away at the hit points. Neon, Arcane shifts forward, looking for Mystic Shot. After Mystic Shot, Razork flashes for his life. It's Humanoid that gets another, but look at the AoE. Vitality are in control of the fight. Reckless cannot fire a single shot. He cannot find the kills, and Vitality, they're pushing down the bottom lane.
How are Vitality alive? They have no right to be back in this game, but 1 fight against Fnatic, and they are going for the end. They say screw the dragon, they want to finish this.
10 seconds before Wonder's up. He's got the ult available to him. That minion wave needs to be cleared very quickly. Reckless cannot afford to go down. The minions are now being channeled. Tower number 1 starting to fall. The bounty is still up and available. Solar flares up in just a few seconds for Kaiser. Here comes Wonder, waiting for the explosive cast. The body slam forward. Cast goes sideways. Super minion still pouring forward. Wonder, take it down. Reckless is next. Vitality have done it. Vitality have punished and destroyed Fnatic's necklace. Oh, what was that ending?
I take